I don't care what anybody says about Nickelback. I've worked with them several times, and they've always been just genuinely great people to work with.
We're pumped. Okay.
We're down to the final four.
Okay. Oh.
Whoa, here we are. We're back.
Welcome back to Day Drinking with Shag, episode 4. Season 2. We're here with JD. Here.
It's our
Cheers.
It's our 2-4 episode.
Our 2-4?
Yeah,
our
season
2-4.
2, episode 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
2-4.
subscribe,
They said we
smash
wouldn't even
that
do 12,
button.
and we did.
Yeah, there we go.
We're at the 2-4. Yeah.
All right. Well, JD. So we met JD playing our favorite. Well, it's unfair because we've got a number of favorite gigs, but our number one first favorite gig, and the reason that Shag the band exists and that we exist as a married couple, is the Commodore
is because
gig.
of that.
Is
show.
that gig because I was in a band. You had to have 50% legal content. I was in a band, and there was only one lawyer in the band and 5 members, so we needed to get legal content.
Yeah, so I came along. Yeah.
and I first time I saw her, I went, "Oh, I'm in love."
How can you not be?
And eventually, it all worked out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks to the good old Commodore Ballroom.
And we've done that show every year since that was 2017.
That was 2017?
The first time
Yeah.
we did it. Yeah.
Which I think was my first time doing it as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in a different band at that time, the Warehouse Dogs, which was very much more 54, 40-ish kind of tragically hip sort of. Yeah. So,
bare-chested rock.
Yeah.
College
exactly.
rock, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we met you, right? Is because you're one of the sound techs at the Commodore. And so
I
I
always
was...
seem to get roped into the show, too.
I literally request it.
Oh, dude.
It's a fun day. It's a long day, and it's a very fun
It
day.
seems like that's a lot of changes.
It is, but I mean, we live for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's so just so people know, there's usually 7-ish bands, I think, 7 or maybe 8 even.
Sometimes 8.
Yeah, so it's a ton of changeover. Everybody's got about a half-hour set, and then the sound techs just work their incredible magic of like somehow remembering what band needs what and where they need to go and how many
these are
mics.
not professional bands, although many have professional musicians
in them.
Actually, as it turns out. But so you guys must be dealing with the whole range of people who are toured with, A-listers to people who've never been on stage, even in a community center.
There was the opening band this year were absolutely wonderful, and they were such a charm to work with.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell they had definitely never done this before, and I went up to my bosses and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I just write out our input list of what we're giving them so that they have that, so the next show they go to, they can hand that off right away and be that much more prepared?"
Oh, right.
And again,
awesome. Nicely done.
It's one of those things where it helps everybody involved.
And as a band person who's gone from playing it never before to many times, and to go through that process, that's so nice because you're so intimidated, taking that stage for the first time.
Completely.
And, we've seen people who played big gigs, who were intimidated by taking that stage for the first time.
It's like, hey, guitar player on the left, talking to the microphone.
I don't even know where this mic is here. No, I just do gang vocals. I'm like, okay, well, you still.
It is a totally terrifying experience going up there the first, couple times even. Like, it takes a few years to kind of ease into it and be like, okay, I belong here. Like,
I didn't die the previous 2 times. I probably won't die this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
Well, how did you get into this? Like, how do you get into being a sound tech? Like,
okay, so that story goes way back. So I'm just going to give you the Cliff Notes version of it.
Sure.
When I was going to college, I went to a regional college back in northern Alberta. And my second year there, I ended up running the student lounge. And so because of that, I ended up booking bands and getting kind of to see that side of things. And being a musician myself, I was like, oh man, I want to know everything there is to know so that when I show up, I'm not that person floundering on stage. I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm excited about this.
And useful knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Useful knowledge, not only for myself, but that I can pass on to my reject musicians as well.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, like this is information that we all need to know.
Probably not the drummer, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's only so much you can do.
He said musicians.
Yeah. But yeah, so from there,
Sorry, guy.
flash forward to about 10 years later, we moved to Vancouver, and I'm at a new point in my career where I'm like, well, what do I want to do? Well, what was I really good at? And there was that. And my wife said, well, girlfriend at the time said, well, why don't you go to school for event management? And I was like, well, that sounds like a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. So we put me through school for another couple of years, going here in Vancouver. And I ended up coming out of that, going to work directly for 3 of my instructors. And one of my instructors worked at the Commodore.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of my introduction to that place.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, up until this point, the Commodore was a fictional, magical place for us
Yeah.
Albertans.
Right.
I had friends that would go to Vancouver and they'd come back and they'd be like, dude, I saw the coolest show you've ever heard of before. And like ever in your life. It's like he handed me a CD and he's like, you got to listen to these guys. The dude came on, stood on his head and sang an entire song while standing on his head. Handed me the CD and I'm like, I don't, because he knew I was like into metal and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. Years later, System of a Down is one of my favorite bands.
System of a
And I'm
Down.
just like,
I love those guys.
whoa, like this is incredible. The stories you hear from this.
So
Yeah.
Serge Tankian stands
Yeah.
on his head and does the whole song.
Yeah.
That's
It
right.
was just incredible stories. So yeah, I never knew that this place was going to be my home.
Yeah.
But met Sherry Edwards, who instructed me in school, and she was the banquet coordinator at that point.
Mhm.
So any what do you call them? Like corporate events that would happen
Yeah.
would go through her. But I ended up working with her through several other events that she had throughout the city as well. And she's like, "Oh, you're my right hand man. I need you to do this and do this and do this." And as she started realizing I was better at the sound audio side of things, she's like, "Oh, okay, there's a career here."
Mhm.
And yeah, years later, here I am now at the Commodore. And again, like it's all of us sound engineers, all of us roadies, we work multiple different jobs. So it's not like the Commodore is my only place.
Mhm.
It is just my happy place.
Mhm.
Even if I'm doing a DJ show, I'm still happy to be there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not a real fan of DJ music or
Right,
EDM stuff like that, but they're great shows. They're always sell out. And one of the things I will always credit is you don't know how good a type of music or a band is until you see how somebody else is enjoying them.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you see somebody else really into something, it gives you a whole new appreciation for them.
Mhm.
And I hold that in my heart with every show that happens at the Commodore. If I don't like it, if it's not my style,
Yeah. Yeah.
it still doesn't matter. I'm still like, okay,
Yeah.
somebody's enjoying this,
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I got to be part of somebody else's enjoyment, sometimes somebody else's first experience at the Commodore.
Right.
And that makes me feel that much more like part of a huge team.
Yeah.
And
I
we're-
think I used to work at a live music club, much smaller in Regina called Channel One. And I used to, I think I credit that experience to giving me a broader appreciation for different styles of music, because even though I might have been like, man, I hate that kind of music, I would see that a band come in and I'd be like, but man, they were just amazing musicians. And, and suddenly the style of music didn't matter anymore to
No.
me. It was just like, wow, what a great show. What a great bunch of gifted people. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
There's also a sweetness of the people that come in too. When you have bands that have come in from overseas, or especially when they're the support acts, so they're not the main band that people are there to see, but they're the support act that kind of got drug along. They've never been to Canada before, never been to Vancouver before, and they're walking into this room and they don't know the history. They don't know how much the people around in the area love the venue. But then they come in and they get welcomed and they're like, what an experience. They're suddenly their guard is down a little bit and they feel a little bit more comfortable about being there.
Right.
And it just makes the show so much easier for everybody. And at the end of the day, same thing. Even if I don't really care for the music that they were doing, like they were delightful. They were easy to work with, just wonderful. And I literally start following them. I'm like, I'm going to start following their career too, because I want to know what happens with these guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, what percentage of people that come into play, musicians, artists, are enjoyable to work with versus difficult, let's say?
I'd say 90%. 90% are really enjoyable.
Wow, that's a pretty good number.
That 10% of people, now when you're talking about like the techs coming in, some of them can be a little bit more surly, a little bit harder to accommodate. Also because a lot of the bands that come through the Commodore are like arena-sized bands that are trying to fit in not an arena. So there's not a lot of holding room. There's not a lot of space for storage. There's, it becomes kind of a juggle. And sometimes that can put them off. Plus there's also, they usually have just left the border. So they're dealing with the border crossing, the traffic, stuff like that. So there's a lot of times some of the techs will come in and they're pretty, maybe not surly, but they're definitely not on their best as they walk in the door.
Right.
Which is why it is also nice to be the first person they see. I'm pretty positive. I'm pretty happy. And working on the road myself, I know like the first things you're looking for when you're coming off that tour bus is where are the bathrooms? Where can I get some peace and quiet? Where can I get changed?
Right.
Like, where can I get away from everybody else that I've been on the bus with for this long? And so being that first person they see when they come up those stairs and being like, hey, welcome to the Commodore. Bathrooms, the closest bathroom is right across the stage, but there's bathrooms up in the dressing rooms. There's bathrooms in the green rooms. Like
there's showers up there.
There's showers up there. Yeah. And like, any other questions you've got, even if I don't have the answers, because again, I'm not a main member of the Commodore. I am a hired gun that just comes in a lot. Yeah. But I'm a hired gun. So if you have any questions that I can answer, guess what? I know somebody that does have the answer. I can find them for you. Right. You don't have to go looking. And I'll tell you, my first 2 years working there were so many times where that spiel wasn't that spiel, but it was that same kind of energy, that same kind of, hey, what can I do to accommodate your stay here? Was met with like what I felt was just apprehension and exhaustion. Like, please don't talk to me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And for that first couple of years, there was those times when I was like, am I coming on too strong? Is this like I know I know I'm a super, super friendly Albertan. So I'm like, is this like, we all wave to people. I'm used to this. Like I'm used to being like a farm folk. So I'm like, is this too much for people? And then how many times at the end of the night, I get those same people coming up being like, hey man, I just want to thank you. Your energy was so good. And so like it caught us off guard and we weren't prepared for that. And we're like, but we really appreciated it. And after I heard that, maybe my third or fourth time, I was like, I will never change.
Right.
If one person's saying it, 10 people are thinking it.
Exactly. That's at least in my brain, that's how I'm thinking it. So I'm like, if that's the case, every time I see those like, oh, this sound person is a little much. I'm like, yeah, you know what? But at least they know. If they have questions, they can come back. And then I get local acts that come through and I do hear that right away. Like the positivity and the vibe is there because you're at the Commodore. Like know you're at a pretty good pinnacle of like what awesome is.
Everyone who's awesome has played there.
Everyone who's awesome has
man, if you
played
top
there.
out at the Commodore, that's still a pretty good career.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think my jovialness and my excitement when people are coming up those stairs, like I said, even if it's music I'm not interested in, has always become second to making sure that they have the kind of experience here that I would want to have if I was here.
Yeah.
And it's a nicer way to live your life.
It is. 100%.
That's the thing.
You know, conflict, man, it makes you old.
Well, and just being true to yourself, like having people come up and just being able to be yourself when they come up and not be, too
cool.
There's still definitely times when I'm intimidated by certain people that come up those stairs and I'll
back.
contain a little bit. But for the most part, I'm like, especially again, when it's support bands and things like that, where I've been that person walking up those stairs and being like, I don't know what to expect today versus what I expected yesterday. And I don't know if I got myself in way over my head. Just giving them that foothold in the venue is nice. Part of the reason why it's so easy to do at the Commodore is because everybody else that works there is pure gold.
Oh, yeah.
So I know, like, I can turn to any questions that come up. I know I can turn to people who, if not immediately have answers, will be able to figure it out.
Right.
So it puts me at a place of safety as well too, where I can. One thing I've always been worried about is overpromising and underdelivering. You don't have to worry about that with the Commodore.
Right.
We've got professional equipment. We've got professional people working everything. It's a very safe environment to welcome everybody that comes in, no matter what their level is.
It's a well-oiled machine. Anytime we've been there, whether we're on the stage or in the audience, it's like, it's magical every single time. Yeah. Just love it.
This raises a question I'd like to know. Are you able to say, like, by category, genre of music, that there will be like more trouble that night or less trouble that night? Like, are some genres or some
Crash has a theory on which genre?
Yeah. Are some crowds more trouble just like systematically?
Okay, well let's cards on the table. Let's see what's your guess?
My guess for the most problems is country.
Country?
I would well, I don't know anymore. I would have gone punk in the old days just because, I had a buddy in the 90s who'd go like Smiling Buddha and stuff, and people are going there for body contact.
And Trixie?
I'm not going to name who we saw. I'll just even say in the last year. But we went to see someone in the last year, and I was really shocked at, I will just say, meatheads in the audience that were really drunk. And I was quite shocked, and I thought, someone's getting in a fight tonight.
So what kind of genre was it?
It was more, I don't want to be too specific because it'll really give away who I'm talking about.
Can we just say 90s rock? Because it sounds like you're talking 90s rock.
Yeah, exactly. So
here's the thing about that. First of all, I don't have to deal with the crowd. That is my favorite reason for being at the Commodore.
Yeah, you're actually safe up here. Like,
I get the best seat in the house. I'm a hobbit, so I get the best seat of the house where I can actually see the bands, enjoy the show. And if it's actual live music coming off stage, I can hear just about as good of a mix as what you're hearing in the house.
Right.
But when it's the 90s rock bands, and again, I'm not naming specific names to that, but just the bands that I love having there are like 5440, The Tea Party, Big Wreck, things like that. All those bands, all those bands from the 90s, what I like to call the college music. For me, that was my college music. Those ones are absolutely wonderful to work with, incredible on stage. However, the people that are coming to that show, a lot of them are adults our age with kids that don't remember they can't drink the way they used to. And therein lies the problem. Is you get a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, no, I'm partying like it was like when I graduated. I'm like, you didn't graduate 5 years ago. You graduated 22 years ago.
A year exactly.
Yeah, my kids are looked after for 2 days. I don't have to worry about coming home hungover. Still got to make it through the night, love.
Actually, I'm sorry. Hangovers take way longer to get over the older you get.
So long. And they punch you so hard.
Well, if you just stay drunk, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
I'll drink
trick.
for that.
But when it comes to country bands, I've toured with country, and I've also done tons of countries and festivals as well, country festivals.
Right.
Like Merit, for example?
I never did Merit, but this is my first year in 18 years I haven't done Stampede.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, they're great to work with. Usually really, really, really solid people to interact with off stage.
Right.
They need the teleprompter so they can remember what the hell they're singing, and that's about it, you know.
Wait, you can get a teleprompter.
Yeah, like it's...
Do you remember Doc Walker?
Yes.
So that we had their guitar player on our last episode.
Murray Pulver.
Murray
yeah.
Pulver.
Oh man.
Yeah, Crash Test Dummies too.
Yeah.
You played with, yeah.
That is incredible.
You guys, I'm sure you guys have crossed paths.
I'm sure.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we just did the Dummies for, was it 2 nights or was it just one? I think it was just one night over at the Hard Rock at the Coquitlam.
Oh, yeah.
At the casino down there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At the theater.
I didn't even see that they were coming. Is Brad Roberts still with them?
Yes. Brad,
okay.
Brad and Danny were both still there.
Awesome.
As well as, shoot, I can't remember the female singer name now.
Well, Ellen.
Thank you. But yeah. And they were wonderful to work with.
They're
Obviously,
good Manitobans.
been a fan ever since the first album. Like
Right.
huge fan, because that's when my folks discovered Columbia Record House. So yeah, that was one of the first.
I probably still owe the money.
Almost got it paid off. Then.
Exactly. So that was one of the first big ones we got. So that was every road trip, everything. That first album, Ghosts That Haunt Me, I know back to front every song.
Oh,
Brad has such a unique voice, eh? Like nobody sings like that guy.
And again, one of the, because Brad's been around the block a few times. He's lived in New York. He's he's Brad Roberts. I was expecting a little bit more attitude or pomp around him. Not at all.
He is a rock star, though.
So down to earth to talk to. I mean, for us working on stage, so down to earth to walk, to talk to and stuff.
Now, do you find like the bigger the star, the nicer they are to the crew?
No, I don't feel like there's a correlation between that, because some of them are incredibly genuine and sweet, and they've been doing it for years and years and years. Other ones, and again, I don't know so much that it's them, but it's their security or their management make sure that they maintain this image of like standoffish, or you can't talk to this person.
Right.
I will just throwing this out there as like a complete side note, but I got to give you guys this story anyways, because it's so Canadiana, and it's a great story. So we're loading in for Big Wreck, and I'm very
Corey Johnson,
excited,
man, he is such a monster,
and I'm so excited to be doing this job. So like, I'm so excited to be on shift this day, and we're down in the alley, and you guys have seen the alley. It's sketch.
It's not the worst alley.
It's not, but it is still a little sketch central, and it's tight. It's tight quarters, especially when you're unloading an actual real truck.
It's part of the memories you have of working there.
Exactly, yeah. We're unloading gear off of the truck, so everything's coming off, and we've met their techs have come out, and they're all very, very memorable. They're people that we've worked with before, and I'm like, oh, great, and good to see these people. This is nice. And a couple of the band members come off, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen Mr. Thornley yet. I said Big Wreck, right? Yeah. So I haven't seen Ian yet. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's coming in later or whatever. We're moving big amp cabs off to the side. Now across from us is the Orpheum, so we've got that little pocket where we can store things. So we're kind of shoving things off over to the Orpheum, and all of a sudden, coming down the alley, car turns, just comes whipping down the alley, just straight for us. And we're like, well, what are we going to do? There's a truck right here. Everything's parked there. You can't get around us. It doesn't look like they're stopping at all. Finally stops and doesn't like slam on the brakes or anything, but comes to a very, very quick halt. By this time I can see it's a pretty nice looking Corvette. Doors open. Ian gets out on the passenger side, and I was like, oh,
Ian Thornley.
Okay. He got picked up from the airport. That's cool. The driver is Chad Kroger from and the two of them get off.
Buddies, obviously.
Yeah, the two of them get out of the car. They come over, talk to their crew for a bit, and the Commodore crew that are there, we're just like, we're starstruck. I know this is just Canadiana, but I don't care. I don't care what anybody says about Nickelback. I've worked with them several times, and they've always been just genuinely great people to work with. But
Albertan boys.
Yeah, exactly. But seeing this, like seeing these two get out, I'm like, okay, this is pretty Canadiana. This is pretty cute. They talk to us, and then they disappear around the corner. And their main tech that day, he's from the States. And again, we've seen this guy a dozen times with plenty of other big artists, right? So I'm like, okay, I know who this tech is. He's a guitar tech. He's really, really good. And so I'm like, I'm excited to be working with him. But then, see how the banter goes between the three of these guys. And then the two rock stars take off and the rest of us slub the gear. Well, later on, just as we're getting the last bit of gear in the elevator, they come back around. This is right around Halloween time a couple years ago. And they come back around and they'd stopped at the Halloween store around the corner. And they come back and they throw their guitar tech a Trump mask. And they're like, oh, you got to wear this during the show. And he just, you see, like, even his beard looked angry. He was like, I am not wearing that. Like, just this total grizzled, angry look. And I was like, okay, there's a certain amount of camaraderie and stuff even within their road crew,
Right.
that was just so nice to see. Being on the road with bands and seeing, like, sometimes there is that separation where, yeah, they're our crew and we'll thank them as we're walking off stage and stuff like that, but we don't really know them. Not the case. These everybody's a tight family here.
I thought you were going to tell me that the Orpheum show accidentally unloaded at the Commodore or vice versa or something.
We've always done that. We've knocked on the door at the Orpheum and they're like, who are you?
Not us.
Yeah, no.
There's several of the other venues I've worked at where that has happened, but usually at the Commodore. Usually at the Commodore, by the time the band rolls up, there's a couple people from the Commodore that are already down there ready for them.
Yeah.
Here's a funny little story about the back alley. I saw camper van Beethoven at the Commodore years ago, and the guy was very, like, personable on stage. He was very, like, chatty with the audience and stuff. And he goes, yeah, we're camper van Beethoven and we're from San Francisco and we play some pretty scummy places, you know? But he goes, we loaded in the back alley here at the Commodore, and when I get home, I'm burning these shoes.
That's Take the Skinheads Bowling, right? Take the Skinheads Bowling,
so.
take them bowling.
Yeah. Has anybody tried that? I mean, it might.
Skinheads
I don't,
bowling?
Yeah, who knows? It might work.
Maybe it works. Yeah.
You gotta find some skinheads. When was the last time you guys were in Alberta? There's definitely that back alley is rough, and after COVID, it got so much worse.
Mind you.
It ain't the rickshaw, man.
It ain't the rickshaw. I
Exactly.
took, my kid was a huge fan of the Black Veil Brides.
Oh
And,
boy.
you know, went down. Finally, Andy Biersack from them played. I think it was just him and his band plays there. And it's so great because it was like the full on, you know, the next generation of the Kiss Kabuki kind of makeup, kind of, or Motley Crue. That. So it's great. Great show, all of that. But he's going on stage. I can't believe, like, where this is. Like, I can't believe the back alley. You think the back alley is the Commodore, so you
gotta try that.
Yeah,
that's like
That's
That's
whole
like
other
weed to
level.
heroin.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
you think you're a
100%.
scary guy until you play there. And
Yeah, for sure. So you must have, like, or maybe you don't, I don't know, the coolest autograph book in the world.
I don't.
No.
I don't. I've got a heck of a lot of great picks.
Yeah.
right.
But because I'm a guitar player, I use them. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just got my pick jar sitting there and I'll be playing away on my guitar and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, cool. This is Zach Wilde's pick. Oh, cool. This is Steve Vai's pick. That's great. But no, as far as autographs go and stuff like that, since I've worked at the Commodore, I don't think I've ever gotten an autograph whatsoever.
Have you seen anyone chase an autograph there?
Oh, constantly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, you know, I don't know if I would walk up to somebody. It would have to be, you know, one of the gods.
Yeah.
To do that, because otherwise it's like, let the guy or woman make their living, and you know.
The most I would do is a selfie. I wouldn't ask somebody to write their
couldn't do
name
it.
on paper for me.
No, but you know,
I don't know.
I'll tell you, I will feel really amazing, and like I don't need to do anything else in life if someone asks me for my autograph at some point. So I'll be like,
So anyone
I'm
out
good,
there,
I'm done.
if you see Trixie on the street,
Yeah. I think I don't know how. Well, I think I can tell you guys this whole thing now because it's way past, but it was so hush hush at the time. We had a private event at the Commodore last summer, and it was a massive event for a corporation. And because of that, everything was hush hush. And I was working at a different venue the night before, so I'm desperately trying to get some intel on, like, what am I in for? Are we talking one bus? Are we talking 5 buses? Is this a full trailer? Is this several trailers?
Oh boy.
Because I'm working until midnight in Surrey the night before.
right.
So I'm desperate to get any intel, and nobody will tell me anything. I'm like, okay, I'm concerned because I got to be here at 9 a.m. Like 9 a.m.
That's an early start.
It's so freaking early for us, right? And I'm like, and also, all we've been told is, hey, this is a name brand name brand musicians. So because of that, nobody can know, but also I want to be on my A game.
Right.
So I'm texting back and forth to the other guys, like the text, the actual Commodore text, like Mike and Lawrence, the sound tech and the audio or the lighting engineer. I'm writing to them and I'm like, okay, is it so and so? Is it so and so? Do they have a sir in front of their name? Like, what are we talking about here? And of course, they're so tight-lipped. I get nothing. All of us stagehands get there for the day. We're all standing around. I'm literally feel like I'm the last person to come up the stairs. And once we're all there, manager Byron comes to us and he's like, okay, you're all here. I can tell you guys now, it's Eddie Vedder.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a huge Pearl Jam fan, seen them a couple times, but I also know this is a private event for like 190 people.
That's it for the whole Commodore.
In the whole Commodore.
Jeez.
So I'm like,
You can call us next time. We'll come and
Yeah.
help the extra bodies.
Fill out the crowd a little bit. Fill out the crowd.
Anyway, sorry.
So he literally tells me, hey, it's Eddie Vedder. And without even thinking that this is my boss, the guy that I love and mentor, I was literally, fuck off. Who is it really?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's Eddie Vedder. I was like, oh man. So I'm like, okay, I can't tell anybody around here. I can't tell any of my friends. I can't tell, anybody that I would so excited that I'm working with Eddie Vedder. So I go upstairs, I grab my phone and I text my mom out in Alberta. And I'm like, Mom, I get to work with Eddie Vedder. And she goes, well, make sure you get a hug from him. I was like,
he seems like a huggy guy.
I'm like, head scratcher on that one. I'm like,
show him your phone. My mom says I'm supposed to get a hug.
I laughed at her. I was like, I put my phone down. I was like, that's hilarious. So crew comes in. They are amazing to work with. They had just come off of Eddie Vedder's solo tour themselves. So everybody was like pretty chummy, pretty easy to work with. Everything was straightforward. It was just one trailer worth of stuff. The majority of that was like props. And like, he's got 2 like Mr. Dress Up tickle trunks full of just song lyrics.
Wow.
Like he's just got, so he's like, what song do I want to do today? And he'll pull out the sheets of what he wants to do.
That's wild.
And
Old school. Like it.
Incredible. Absolutely.
So you're not seeing the same show twice.
Never.
Wow.
Pearl Jam was always like that too,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. And so it was just like seeing all this. I was like, wow, this is very organic. Everything's very,
right.
But everybody was so great to work with. And I'm pulling out mic stands, getting our mics actually ready for the show and stuff. So I'm over in the mic closet over on stage right, pulling that stuff out when he comes on stage. And he comes on stage, he greets everybody, hey, saying hi to his.
This is like sound check time, right?
Yeah. Okay. Comes on, says hi to everybody. I'm back there. Never met him before. He comes to that side and he's like, hey, he says to me, and he comes over and he gives me a big hug. And I was just like, I melted. I was like, wow, this is so incredible. Yeah. So literally, as soon as he went upstairs to the dressing room, I'm like, well, now I got to go back and tell Mom that it actually happened. Mom, you're so amazing.
Yeah. I knew he was a huggy guy.
Yeah, you were absolutely correct. Yeah. But and the show, we had just gotten the sound system the year before, like the new PA system in there. And that in itself was an experience. After we finished the install, I got to be one of the ones that got to literally listen as the techs there were setting it up for the Commodore.
Right.
And it was magical. It was a breathtaking thing. But hearing Eddie sing Soundcheck was the first time I ever could really, really appreciate that sound system.
Right.
We all think of Pearl Jam and Eddie Vedder specifically as being kind of a mumbler.
Yeah.
Clarity was incredible. Absolutely incredible. You could hear everything, every little like breath in, everything was so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Did it sound that good at the show?
It did, 100%.
Oh, that's nice.
But he was supposed to end the show. His encore song was supposed to be Big Hard Sun, which is really cool how they set that up, because he's actually got a reel-to-reel sitting beside him, and he actually turns on the reel-to-reel of the original track of it. And then he plays and sings.
Oh, nice.
So it's the original like backing track of everything going on while he sings over top. And all that was set up. Everything was set up, ready to go. He ended with, crazy enough, he ended with Port, which is like a pretty heavy song from their album 10.
Yeah.
So a Pearl Jam song. It's very not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I was like, wow, that's great that they played it. And
As he was feeling that night.
yeah,
or
he
something.
was incredible, absolutely incredible. But it's because I knew Big Hard Son was coming for the encore.
Right.
He finished, and everybody that was there rushed the stage to start talking to him, get autographs and stuff. And he spent the next hour
Oh, wow.
just visiting with them
what a dude.
instead of doing the final song. So the only time that we got to hear that song was during the sound check.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And of the sound check, he did that one, and he did Trouble by Cat Stevens, which brought me to tears immediately. It was
yeah.
just so perfect.
Yeah, he'd do a great job with Cat Stevens, wouldn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. And he's got a lot of Cat Stevens in the repertoire, and I forgot that was one of the ones. So
interesting.
when he pulled that out, I was like, boy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know, Henry Rollins tells a story that's just an amazing story about meeting David Lee Roth. And he says at the end of it, he says, you know, sometimes you meet somebody and they're exactly how you think they were going to be. And then but it sounds like, you know, that's what Eddie Vedder was like.
Literally. Yeah. Everything you'd
He's a
ever heard
sweetheart
or
guy.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actual salt of the earth that it was almost uncomfortable to see somebody that you're like, you're a legend.
Yeah. When that 10 album came out, you know, they were on Sub Pop, and this was before, you know, Spotify. This was before internet.
Yeah.
Like you
This is at
couldn't.
the birth of CDs
it's
still,
the
really.
birth- it's still kind of the birth of. It wasn't. You know what? I think it was even maybe a little bit before CDs were even that common, because my
had the
roommate and buddy and I,
Oh, yeah.
he ordered it direct from Sub Pop, and we got it in the mail. Okay.
Oh,
We were living in
nice.
Montreal. And so here's this, you know, and he was just like, man, I've just heard about this in the magazines and stuff like that. Like, let's check it out. And like, that was honestly, for me, it was like the first nail in the coffin of hair metal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's when things started changing. You were
Completely,
like,
yeah.
you were like, you know, there's no shredding guitar solos. There's no virtuosity. There's no talk about like girls
No.
and parties.
No.
But this is just next level. It's so good, right?
We
And
actually-
Soundgarden, you know, at the same time.
Beck actually also.
Yeah.
I
broke out
had
that
all.
one
I
too.
had 10. I played like a bazillion times. Like I had that, and then Soundgarden as well at the same time. We actually a couple of years ago when we went to Indonesia, we were in Lombok, and there was a guy playing just acoustic guitar, and he did the entire album 10. He did the whole thing,
Yeah, right on.
and was brilliant.
The
This guy was
musicianship at
just-
those little islands
is
in Lombok,
off
the
the
musicians.
charts.
I guess
Yeah.
they have little to do. Like they practice all day. I
Well,
guess,
and
'cause
learn to
I don't
play
know.
or
Yeah.
starve.
But you said like a solo musician?
Yep, solo musician,
Doing-
just by himself. He did all of 10.
Campfire-
I was like, I couldn't
Campfire
believe
10.
it. I was like, I sung
Unplugged.
along with every song.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was, yeah.
It's
it was-
incredible. That
it was
was my
amazing.
one of my first guitar books that I got when you
Yeah.
actually had to buy guitar books.
Yeah.
Was Pearl Jam's 10, and it's
Yeah.
almost impossible because there's so many guitar parts in there.
Yeah.
And it's not like, G to C,
No,
D.
no.
It's like,
They're
it's
Beatles.
noisy.
They're Beatles written. Yeah. Well, yeah. And then there's that too.
It's loose.
Yeah.
It's cool. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not.
It was one
just
of the
playing these
1991 albums, like the big year of all the.
all
all
the
the
Seattle
albums. Yep.
kind of scene. Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
love that. Like, but it was. If you came out of Seattle at that time,
Yeah.
you were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you wanted to hear this
Yeah.
band, you know, but it's Mudhoney or the Melvins or Sonic Youth.
Yep.
Man, I love Sonic Youth.
Alice in Chains, were they
Alice
from
in
there?
Chains,
right?
big
yeah,
time.
had
Loved Alice in Chains because they were a little on the heavier side.
They
Yeah.
were. Yep.
Stone Temple
but then they had
Pilots.
those harmonies. So it was like,
They were
you're-
great, eh?
You're
Yeah.
heavy, but then all of a sudden you've got this
Yeah.
like real.
Super singable, alongable music,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird to think, but yeah, I like, they were, the harmonies were.
Those guys were
excellent
making
in
me
that.
forget all about Rat.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for the exciting conclusion of JD's Tales of the Commodore Ballroom.
Tickets are on sale now for the Freakers Ball 3 on Tickets Candy.